students. This is our fourth lesson in algebra, and it involves all four operations. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And it also has sections on facts, fact families, factor pairs, and so on. So the first question we have, it involves division here and subtraction here. Watch those signs. On this side, we have 12. 12 times 5 is 60. 60 divided by 5 is 12. Now, I subtract from 61 and I get 12. So I can write it this way also. 61 take away 12. And the answer is, well, you have to regroup. So that's 5. Add the 10 to 1. You get 11. Answer here is 9. 49. So let's check if our answer is right. It is correct. 49 is correct. Let's move on to the next one. Here we have multiplication. So that's 8. Always watch the signs. Now we have on this side 64 divided by a number gives me 8. But also remember 64 is on the top. So I have 8 on this side. Like that. So this has to be a number multiplied by 8 to get 64. And that's 8. 64 is a square number, remember? Let's check. Yes, we are good. Let's move on. Here we have 100 divided by 4. And you might think it's hard, but it's not, because this is like $1, 100 cents. 4 quarters makes $1. So each quarter is 25 cents. Another way to think of it is anything divided by 4 is half of a half. So half of 100 is 50. Half of 50 is 25. Also remember counting by 25. 25, 50, 75, 100. So here, when I multiply these two numbers, I get 25. So that must be 5. Let's see if we are right. We are. 5 times 5. Let's move on to the next. Here I have a division. And I have division here too. So here this is 7. So remember what we said. Draw a triangle like that. So 28 is on the top. It's the big number. And I have 7 here. So something times 7 gives me 28. Let's see. 4 times 7 is 28. Let's see if our answer is 4. That's correct. Let's move on to the next. Here I have subtraction on this side. Okay, so 94 take away 86. Switch colors. So that's going to be 14, because I'm going to borrow from 9 here. It's going to be 8. 14 take away 6 is 8. So something times 8 gives me 72. 8 here, 72 on the top. So that answer is, now remember 7 plus 2 is 9. So 72 is a multiple of 9. That's a clue always. 9 times 8 is 72. Let's see if we are correct. And we are. Let's move on to the next one. So multiplication, here we have 9. Now this is a big number. So let's do it this way. Our big number, we don't know what it is. It's up here. We have 9 and 7. So 9 times 7 gives the answer here, which is the product on the top, and it's 63. So let's see if we are correct. You're allowed to use a calculator to double check. Yep. So here we have what we call inequalities. That means the two sides are not equal. Now, it's for you to decide if the two sides are equal or not. And let's figure out. Here we have 30 On this side, 4 times 8 is 32. Sorry, that's 30. So it should be less than. So 30 is less than 32. And we're going to move on to the next. We have 25 on this side, 5 times 5. And we have 25 on this side. Remember, half of 50 is 25. So equal is right. Let's move on to the next one. Let's look at that. 50 divided by 1 is 50. And 7 times 7 is 49. It's just 1 shy of 50. So this is less than. That's correct. Let's move on to the next. We have a fact triangle here. So we used a couple of them earlier. So remember, factors are here. Two numbers multiplied together gives the product on the top. So here you are. So what times 5 is 40? So the answer is 8. Okay, so 8 times 5 is 40. Let's look at another one. 9 times 6 is 54. So 54 is the answer. Should go up here. Now remember, 54 divided by 6 is 9. 54 divided by 9 is 6. If you multiply these two numbers in any order, you get 54. This one, the big number is on the top. 4 times something gives me 16, and is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 is a square number. 4 times 4, you can think of a square that is 4 by 4. That's why we call them square numbers. Okay, let's look at this one. Something times 7 gives me 42, and it must be an even number because this is even, this is odd. So we know it's 6. 6 times 7 is 42. So that's the answer. Move on. Something times 5 gives me 45. Remember, 4 and 5 is 9, so it gives you a clue. It must be 9. 9 times 5 is 45. And here we have factor pairs. So 1 times 24 gives 24. 2 times 12 gives you 24. 3 times 8 gives you 24. This is a number bigger than 3, which is 4. And its match is 6. 4 times 6 is 24. Let's move on to another one. 25. Remember, 25 is a square number. So it's 5 times 5 gives me 25. This is called a factor pair. Okay, you multiply them to get the answer. So here you are. 17 has only 2 factors, 1 and 17. 1 times 17 is 17. No other way you can divide it equally. Okay, you can only divide it by 1 or 17. They're called prime numbers. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and take care and stay safe.